This is from NFL Network's Good Morning Football. Jason McCourty, former defensive back in the NFL, on who would be the biggest challenge for the Browns to face in the first round of the playoffs, in the wild card round.
I find it fascinating because we're saying, all right, whoever wins the AFC South, and I think to a man, all of us sit there and you're like, all right, like Houston, you're trying to make a reason for one of
Why
the
is
three
that,
teams.
you think?
And that was my thing. I played in the AFC South for most of my career, and you look at those teams, and it's like no matter what, they're always kind of looked at differently, and they just haven't performed as well. There's no more Peyton Manning. But I do think it is Houston. I think with C.J. Stroud, I think the young guns kind of what they're representing, if they can get hot, they win this game. Stroud was injured for a little while. He's now back. If he can get back to where he was playing, where we were talking about him as a possible MVP of this football season, I think Houston could be the ones to kind of shock everybody, especially if they wear those red jerseys. But
come on now.
It's tough in the AFC South because you look at Jacksonville and the way they've been playing, it's so hard to say Jacksonville and the word dangerous in the same breath. And with the Indianapolis Colts, as much as we like Gardner Minshew, I do think there's that possibility where the consistency isn't always there. And I think you're kind of left with process of elimination. Well, yeah, it's the Houston Texans. I like DeMeco Ryans. I like C.J. Stroud. So that's the team I would say out of those three.
I get it. I mentioned last segment, typically young quarterbacks do not do well. I know C.J. Stroud has been really good, and I've watched him, and I'm not surprised that he's been really good. Let me ask you, who do you think is the toughest matchup for the Browns? And I've played all of them, so Jim Schwartz has had a look at all of them. Hasn't got to look at C.J. Stroud because he missed the game.
Yeah, that's the unknown here, right? And because they didn't play Stroud, they played C.J. Beathard. I probably would least like to see the Texans, like you said, although the Colts are scary to me as well, just because of Shane Steichen's ability to scheme stuff up. I mean, he has been kind of a mad scientist this year offensively. And they gave us fits, right? Or they give our defense a hard, tough game, and we had a tough time stopping them. So, and it would be on the road again. So, those two, I'll leave it at this. I mean, out of the process of elimination, I would rather most play Jacksonville. I think at this point, you've got they're kind of spiraling downward, and Lawrence's shoulder, he has an AC joint sprain, right? So. In his shoulder. So I think that's the team I would most like to play. The other two I'd like to stay away from, but I think the unknown of playing Stroud and how explosive he has been, I think makes them the team I would least like to see.
Yeah, when I look at all three of them, you can never assume anything. I like the Browns' chances defensively against a scheme that Jim Schwartz has seen, because Jim Schwartz seems to be, I mean, look at it. First drive against the Jets, it was like, ooh, this is going to be a long night. And then it's like, yeah, it's going to be a long night for the Jets offense.
Yeah, the adjustment, his ability to adjust, his ability to, switch up his game plan after just one drive. I mean, yeah, it was a long night for the Jets offense for sure. I agree with you. 100% about what he puts together game plan wise. What he puts together game plan wise will be so critical for the Browns' success in this, 1 week at a time playoff scenario, right? Like we have seen teams make it deep into the playoffs before because their defensive coordinator can come up with the 1 week special game plan that takes away something and shuts down an elite quarterback. And I surely think Jim Schwartz has that capability. So you think the Colts would be the toughest, Dave?
Yeah, the one thing, the mobile quarterback, Minshew, and combine that with a really good running back in Jonathan Taylor, that would concern me the most. But again, I like having Jim Schwartz calling the defenses against that.